Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a hidden universe that exists inside every single one of us, our gut. We're about to explore how this bustling community of trillions of microorganisms, this sort of virtual organ, is quietly shaping everything from how you feel to how well you fight off disease. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's start with a number that might just change how you think about yourself. 150. The collection of genes in your gut's microbes is 150 times larger than your entire human genome. Just let that sink in for a second. Genetically speaking, you're actually more microbe than human. And it's this incredible genetic powerhouse that's behind some of our gut's most important functions.
So this massive community of bacteria, fungi, and viruses, that's what we call the gut microbiome. It's so influential that scientists have started calling it a virtual organ or even our second genome. It's a living, dynamic ecosystem that has evolved right alongside us, and it plays a huge role in who we are.
And, this inner world isn't just built overnight. It really takes shape in the first few years of our lives. Things like how we're born or what we eat as babies have a huge impact. Diversity just explodes in that first year, and by the time you're about 3, it settles into a more stable, adult-like community. This early period is an absolutely critical window that really sets the foundation for our health for the rest of our lives.
So, what are these trillions of microbes actually doing for us? Let's meet your body's hidden helpers and break down what they're up to. We can basically think of them as having 3 critical jobs. They're our body's expert recyclers, they're its frontline guardians, and they are its most important messengers. First up, as our recyclers, these microbes break down parts of our food that our bodies just can't, like really tough plant fibers. Through fermentation, they create these super powerful byproducts called short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These little compounds, especially one called butyrate, are absolutely vital. They're the main fuel source for our colon cells, and they play a huge part in keeping our metabolism and inflammation in check. Now get a load of this number. A whopping 70% of your body's entire immune system is located right there in your gut. That makes it, without a doubt, the command center for your body's defenses. And that makes the microbiome the lead guardian of your immune system. It's constantly training your immune cells, kind of like a drill sergeant, teaching them to tell the difference between a friend and an enemy. When it's healthy and diverse, it keeps your gut barrier strong. But when it's out of balance, that can lead to what people call leaky gut, allowing things to slip into the bloodstream that really shouldn't be there, which can trigger inflammation. And this brings us to their role as messengers, which is just mind-blowing. There's this constant two-way superhighway of communication between your gut and your brain. We call it the gut-brain axis. Your microbes can actually produce neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine that directly affect your mood and how you think. And get this, there's also a gut clock axis, where the daily rhythms of your microbiome sync up with your body's own internal clocks, influencing everything from how well you sleep to your metabolic health. So, we've seen how incredible this ecosystem is when it's all working in harmony. But what happens when that balance breaks? This question is really at the heart of so many of the health challenges we face today. Well, that imbalance has a name. It's called dysbiosis. It could mean you have fewer beneficial bacteria, maybe an increase in the more harmful ones, or just a general loss of diversity. This kind of disruption, which is often driven by our modern lives, things like diet, stress, and antibiotics, is now seen as a major player in a whole host of chronic diseases. And the science here is really fascinating. Researchers are starting to connect the dots, finding these clear patterns that link specific shifts in the microbiome to different health conditions. For example, people dealing with obesity often show a drop in certain types of bacteria, while those with type 2 diabetes tend to have fewer of those crucial butyrate-producing microbes we just talked about. But hey, the story doesn't end with imbalance. It's not all bad news. The really exciting part is that we have some powerful ways to support and restore this inner ecosystem. So, let's open up the biotic toolkit and see what's inside. You've almost certainly heard of probiotics. They're probably the most famous tool in the box. The official definition from the World Health Organization basically just says they're good, live microorganisms that, when you get enough of them, give you a health benefit. You can think of them like reinforcements for your gut's microbial army. But they're just one part of a bigger picture. It really helps to think of it like gardening. Prebiotics, those are the indigestible fibers in foods like onions and bananas. They act like fertilizer for your existing good bacteria. Probiotics are like planting new, helpful seeds. And postbiotics? Well, those are the valuable goods that the microbes produce, like those all-important SCFAs.
So, where is all this science headed? Well, the future isn't just about taking a generic supplement. It's all about personalization.
Right, so instead of this one-size-fits-all approach, we're moving towards something called precision medicine. This means using a detailed analysis of your unique microbial profile, your genes, and even your lifestyle to create targeted, personalized interventions designed specifically for your gut.
And you can really see the evolution here. We started with general, broad-spectrum probiotics. Then, more intensive therapies like fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT, came along. But now, science is moving towards engineered probiotics, sometimes called live biotherapeutics, that are designed to do very specific jobs. It's all leading us toward the ultimate goal, truly personalized nutrition and therapies.
So much of our health truly begins in this complex, hidden world inside us. Realizing your gut is this huge, vital ecosystem that you can actually influence, well, it's a game changer. And that leaves us with one final thought. What's the first step you'll take to help yours thrive?
Today, we're diving into a crucial world inside of you, your gut. See, there's this vast hidden world in there that's influencing, well, pretty much everything.
It means you're coexisting with trillions of tiny organisms in one complex ecosystem. It's wild!
This community is so important, people are calling it a virtual organ, or even your second genome.
And get this, their collective genome has 150 times more genes than our own. Staggering, right?
So a healthy gut is dominated by just a few key groups of bacteria that keep things stable. So it's not just about digestion. Your gut is like a central hub, talking to your entire body. First up, let's talk about its powerful link to your immune system. It's pretty mind-blowing, but 70 to 80% of your body's immune cells are right there. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. Your gut actually has a direct line to your brain. Yep, these microbes make things that can literally affect your mood, how you think, and even how you act. And believe it or not, your gut also has its own rhythm, synced up with your body's clocks. So here's the kicker. When you eat can be just as important as what you eat. When this system gets thrown off, it's called dysbiosis, and it's a real driver of poor health. You're probably wondering what causes this. Well, a few things in modern life can mess with that balance. The big ones, things like a poor diet, chronic stress, antibiotics, and of course, bad sleep. But hey, the good news is we can actually help restore that inner harmony. We're talking prebiotics to feed the good guys, probiotics to add more, and postbiotics, they're useful byproducts. So supporting your gut can be simple. Focus on diet, get good sleep, and be smart about medications. And looking ahead, gut health is getting way more personal than just general advice. It's all about precision, using your unique gut profile to create health plans just for you. This could mean tailored diets, super targeted probiotics, and even microbial transplants for certain conditions. So, the takeaway is that your wellness is an ecosystem. The real question is, are you a good gardener?